Hi everyone, Tim here from Team PTSD, and I have here two members of Vector Sigma. We have Dan Arnold here and Scott Landis. So most of you will probably know this by now, but Dan Arnold just won the Energon Invitational right here in Philadelphia. And first off, let's hear your thoughts about it.
I really don't even know. It feels good. it's tough to say. It hasn't hit me yet.
Okay, we'll let that sink in.
Yeah.
Okay, just so everyone knows about Vector Sigma, those of you who, like us, have followed since the early Wave 1, Wave 2, Vector Sigma has always been the drive of that competitive scene already. But this interview here is just to find out more about them as people, because you always know about their ideas, you know about what they can do in the game, and as Dan has just proven it, he's won the first major that we have. But okay, they are seasoned cup players, so let's find out more about who they are actually. Yeah. So do you want to start this then?
Yeah. I'm just a guy. I played card games my whole life, and Scott introduced me to this game, and I really fell in love with the mechanics of the game, and I really enjoyed it. But I'm just a normal guy, really. I don't do anything crazy. I travel a lot for work and stuff like that, but that's about it.
And for you, Scott?
I've been playing card games for 25 years. Played Magic in the beginning.
Almost as old as me.
Yeah, played Magic in the beginning. I have a 4-digit DCI number.
Yeah. Yes, I remember 1742 or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I saw it. I was like,
played in the Pro Tour back then. Got out of it because I just didn't feel like I was playing at the top level. So when the World of Warcraft card game came out, I played that. Dan played that. We played that at extremely high level. I used to write for that company for Cryptozoic and Upper Deck back then.
okay. Oh, Upper Deck, yeah.
Okay. And then when Blizzard bought back the rights, they killed the card game.
Right.
So we kind of we were playing other things here and there, but nothing serious, like different games here and there, but nothing really stuck.
Okay.
And then when they announced Transformers game, I've always been a huge fan of Transformers, so we started I started the website, Info, and then Dan came last year at PAX to try it out. And then it was like something that we could do together, and also with some of our other friends that played like other card games. Because only certain ones of us played certain games together, and certain ones played others. But now we're all playing this, so it's like real great for us.
It's like for us, WoW died 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So like when WoW died, like a part of us died.
Yeah.
Like, we spent every waking minute of every moment of a day emailing or texting or talking. It was always about it, because there was always a big event coming up. It was once a month there was events, so we were always talking. And then when that went away, like we didn't stop talking or anything, but it was like a part of you is like, oh, I didn't talk to Scott in 2 days. Like it's one of those and it was a weird feeling for a long time. But this game has changed all that again. It's just brought it back. Here we are 10 years later, still doing it.
But it's grown to such this has been the busiest year I've ever had in gaming. 25 years into it. I mean, it's like every day is something different. Every day is an opportunity. Every day is literally every day is just something different.
But I assume you enjoy it and you learn.
Yeah, we wouldn't do it.
We do it enough, right?
I mean, it's honestly like a second job at this point.
If
not a primary job at certain times of the week.
Right.
I won't lie. But yeah.
Okay. So moving from, so you said you played Magic the Gathering before. So Magic the Gathering and World of Warcraft, it was more like kind of resource management kind of card games. So how did you feel that transition from that to Transformers?
It's a different type of resource. It's still a resource mechanic. It's just you have limited resources, and it's still it doesn't play on the same access, but you can learn to play on that access differently.
Right.
And that's the big deal. Like, you have to get lands, or you have to play resources and stuff like that in Magic and WoW. In this game, it's like, okay, I have 4 resources, right? And you just have to know how to manage them correctly.
Right.
Yeah, the resource in this game is time. So it's how many turns you have to do whatever you're doing. So it's not about card advantage. It's not about any of those typical concepts. I have never played games where there was a limited number of things you could do in a turn. It was all resource based.
Right.
So there's a lot of getting used to that. So a lot of I think this game is about, this card is better than this card, and once you know that, and that's like a truth, then you can move forward into like playing better. So it's both a card evaluation thing and an actual playing thing. I always tell people like in this game, it's truly like it's an easy game to learn, but a really hard game to master.
Correct, and that's what we actually tell people back home as well.
Yeah. Because if you'll watch back the stream of different games and things like that. One mistake, one damage, 5 turns later, you don't realize that's why you lost or why you won.
Correct.
And there's a lot of that goes on every single turn. It's really interesting. Yeah.
Actually, that one damage was.
Exactly. You survived the one
games,
twice.
Two games,
Exactly.
I said it out loud. I'm like, this is really good streaming.
Yeah.
Yeah,
really
so clutch. Like my buddies back home, they're watching. 2 of them are actually staying up this hour to watch it.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, curse on one.
Yeah.
But it was good. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good.
And in terms of say your joy for card games, what gives you that drive to constantly like come up with new deck tags, new
so
like that synergy, like you like particularly I know Scott, you love the range package, you know.
Yeah.
So and I know so my one of our members, Sean, he's with you on that. He totally like is with you step by step in terms of the range package, you know. But how do you go with that, having that value right there and then compared to setting up over it? Because I understand that now the game is such in a way in terms of thought process, you kind of want to have the you're kind of deciding whether you want to take some time to set up, and is it worth that kind of setup time versus a direct.
I mean, that was our deck, but I think like so we can make fun of him all day about the range package, but we don't have to. Even the deck today, we only played marksmanship in the main, and then 2 hovercrafts in the board, so we didn't even have sturdy javelins. And if you look at the day, I spent more time this like throughout the whole weekend of just going like weapon, the bigger they are, weapon, leap in the battle, and then just like hit something for 15 and it dies. So it doesn't matter if I have a marksmanship to finish it off; it's just gonna die because like you swing for 15. So and I don't think it's just you should always do that now. It's not like that. It's just for this going into this event, it felt like everyone was going to be doing kind of the same thing with their shockwaves and trying to Voltron their shockwaves and stuff like that. So like, well, what do you do? Well, it kind of worked out that we had the bigger dude. So it's just kind of what it turned out.
Biggest dude.
Right. We had the
you have the biggest dude.
We didn't have Metroplex. Sorry.
I think the key is just trying to understand when you can do derive value and when you can turtle up or like play the control game at certain times. Like, should I play an armor? Should I play a weapon?
You have to know when you're ahead and when you're behind.
I guess we've been building decks more recently that are mixed pips, so we're not always guaranteed to do X or Y.
Correct.
So there's been a lot of manipulation of top of the deck or like through focus or through like incoming transmission or flipping the top like with the general prime and things like that. That it's not guaranteed, but we're trying to build the decks in a way that are signed mathematically in our favor. But you can't always guarantee it. So like, because you saw like certain turns attacking for 20 and things like that. Like we can't hope those turns. So we're just trying to mitigate that as much as possible through stats or things like that.
So in terms of this, this is the final one to wrap it up. When you think of all these things, do you actually have to go through the cycles? Do you have to actually make the deck play it out, or do you roughly look at it and like, have an overview and like, okay, I think this roughly works. I know this variance this level kind of works because based on your experience so far.
The answer is both. You know, if you play enough one way, you can kind of just run the math in your head, and then you can go, well, that's supposed to happen. But obviously, it doesn't always work that way. But you know, you go, I can tic-tac that guy, I'll do this, and then I can finish him with that. Like, you can play that way, and you can try and set your deck up to work on that access. But it's not always going to be that simple. You don't, like, so in game 2, he flipped, like, I had him on Exacxes, and I'm like, well, I have to do this, and if he doesn't hit blue, great. Hit the blue. So, what are you going to do? Like, what are you going to do? So
I think at first, and this is a blind spot, I guess you could call it. I try to play the games out in my head and how they're going to go, and I will build a deck according to what needs to happen at certain points. Like, we have a lot of conversations, what about this? What about this? We have some players that question a lot of things, and a lot of conversations will sometimes be like,
he might be some other co-host on Tech Talk.
There's nothing we can do at that point. Like it's just like, okay, we just lose. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you eventually, I mean, it's good, like, they challenge it, like,
Yeah.
it's like almost like a decision tree, and like, eventually you reach a point where, like, we can't really argue that point anymore, like, but I guess there are certain parts of decks that, like, there are certain, you know, milestones we try to hit at all times, like a certain number of pips or a certain number of upgrades or something like that that's going to happen. There's definitely a certain number of greens, so we're always doing something every single turn, but I guess part of it is we sometimes might throw away ideas too quickly or not be accepting of ideas
Right.
without being proven it, and Matt definitely proved it this weekend. Like, we had a lot of help creating this deck. Like,
Andrew Duvall.
yeah, we joined with PPG this weekend, so
okay.
everyone's part of Vector Sigma now.
Right. Okay, so I understood.
Yeah.
I was wondering why George. I played George and he was wearing a VS shirt.
Yeah, so they're working with us. We're working with them now.
Andrew Duvall.
Yeah,
Once again,
Yeah.
I'll say it over and over again. Your deck was amazing. Thank you.
yeah, he created it, Andrew from PPG, and we had to be proven the day before this is the way it was. I mean,
Right.
luckily, I've played enough card games where I'm okay doing that, like
Right.
being shown on the fly how to fix something. So I think to that point, we've improved ourselves as players to be able to be that adaptive.
Yeah.
And so
You made a call at 9:30 at night on Friday.
so we're
Yeah. It was
we
good.
might be pig-headed in certain things, but at the
Right.
same time, like, it's not always wrong, so it's easy to adapt. Because
Okay.
there are certain truths that we know need to happen, and as long as they're happening, then we're more receptive to the ideas. Kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, combo is a blind spot for me, for example. Like, I don't like those things. I'm bad at it. Like, you'll never get me to do that.
You sound very similar to one of our guys. Like there's a reflection I can see. Like he's Sean. Okay, so he's the one who really goes with you on the range package thing, and he wants his value there and now. He's he's the one that actually catches us to a point where if we say what if this happens, what if this, he's like, no. If this happens means we
Right.
accept the loss.
Right.
Yeah. So I can see the reflection between two of you right now.
Good.
Yeah.
Sure, we'll get along.
I'm very sure. Yeah. But okay, so just to finish this,
Yeah.
is there any final words for your fans of all over from Asia?
No, it was a great event. I want to definitely give John a shout out. Past times they did great. The judges
Watsy.
were minimum, but they did their best. And Watsy and Drew and Matt had great conversations with them all weekend. It was a lot of fun. Definitely shout out to our team. I don't win this without a team.
Of course.
It's just that simple. I'm not one guy. I am one of many.
Yeah.
The big thing is we're very approachable. Like, I mean, you can see that. Like, I think people think we're not, but we really are.
Yeah.
So, like, we don't know how to. We're trying to change that because we don't know why people think we're not. So.
I can understand how it is because
Yeah.
you guys are like the competitive forefront. So usually when people are there, especially in other card games that have
Yeah.
been, especially Magic the Gathering,
Yeah.
when you have something like a team and the forefront, they are very elitist. So people might get that kind of apprehension. Yeah.
I think it's because, like, we say things and it's like that's what it is.
Yeah.
And, like, we can't be arguing with it, but that's not true. Like,
Right.
we have conversations with players all the time. So like, please feel free to reach out to us anytime.
Yeah,
We'll
like
chat.
Stefan.
Yeah. Like, we talked to people over there. Finally, they listen to us eventually, so it's all good.
Yeah.
No, but please, like we're very approachable, so make sure reach out to us.
Definitely. Thanks again. You made a hell of a trip.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Like the game needs.
Yeah.
We all need players to make those trips.
Yeah.
So it's awesome that you guys made that trip.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Thank you. And thank you so much for doing this interview.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks guys, and that's Vector Sigma, Scott and Dan. Right? PTSD out.